Hello everyone, this is Karthik. Today we focus mainly on Java IO streams. Okay, then we straight away go to the program how to work on Java IO streams. So what IO streams mainly focus on is how to work on input and output operations and what are streams and how can we perform input operations and how can we perform output operations and what is random access file. So straight away, what is IO? IO is input output stream, means how the flow of data will go from one particular file to another file. I can strictly say this as file streams, because the data which we read and write, data which we read from a file and data which we write into the file mainly justifies input output streams. At first, what is a stream? Stream is nothing but the flow of data that carries from one location to another location. Little pause. So a flow of data that carries from one location to another location. What kind of data we can carry? We can carry two forms of data. One is character data and another one is byte data. In technical forms, we can say it as character streams and byte streams. So character streams are the data which carries the characters and byte streams are the data which carries the bytes. So we just say simple example to understand what are character streams and byte streams, and then we classify. So notepad space streams dot java. Say in order to work on the particular file streams, we should need to work with a package called as java.io.star package. So finally import java.io.star. We may not use this now, but it is very handy. Class streams and public static void main string args, and we see what is a character stream and byte stream. So take a string str equals to say Karthik, and inside is Karthik. We just try to convert this Karthik into characters and bytes. To convert this Karthik into characters, simple thing is to say str dot to char array. Done. Now this string is converted into the character array and it returns char array. In the same manner, to convert that string into byte array, simply say str dot get bytes. So get bytes will get the bytes as a output. These are called characters, these are called bytes. If you want to print these things, just try to print like this. So for char ch c colon ch, I am taking for each loop in Java, and simply print here system dot out dot print line and say print c. Just try to check the output, say java c space streams dot java and java space stream C, we have got character by character. Same manner, instead of this, you just try to say something like byte on which array, byte array. Again, now run this program and check how it look like. These are called bytes. I can say bytes are ASCII values. So the flow of data can be either in the characters or bytes. Depending upon the flow of data in terms of characters, that will be treated as an character array. The flow of data in terms of bytes will be taken as what? Byte array. Hence, the streams are classified into two categories depending upon the flow of data. And depending upon the type of data, again, streams are classified into two categories. One is print stream, and I can say another one is input stream. So print stream and input stream. So print stream is something like an output stream like thing, and input stream is the way we read the input. So depending upon the type of data which you are working on, means where the data is being taken from, where the data is to be sent into, depending upon the flow in which the data is going, the data streams are classified into print stream and input stream. Some people may even say error stream too. So depending upon the type of data, we call them as character streams and byte streams. Depending upon the flow of data, we call it as print stream, input stream. Okay, and what is the category of the data? They will be classified into byte streams, and the byte streams, we all know the data which the flow will be in terms of what? Bytes. And the APIs of byte streams will always end with a class called stream. Stream is a class that will ends with for the class. We already have the package, that is io.star package, and in this the classes are like this: file, input stream, file, output stream. I can say even buffered input stream or buffered output stream. The classes which ends with the word called stream, that comes under all byte streams, hence they will always read and write bytes. Technically, I can even say them as ASCII values. And coming to this another type of category, those are called as character streams. Character streams are the streams of data which flow in terms of characters, and the classes or APIs which ends with that streams will be reader and writer. Readers and writers are the words which ends with the classes. Example, say FileReader, FileWriter, BufferedReader, BufferedWriter. So these are the two different ways in which the streams are classified into depending upon the flow of data they carry. One is the byte streams, that is the flow of data will be in bytes, and the classes which ends up with the word called stream. So FileInputStream is a class which reads the input in a form of a stream. FileOutputStream is a class which writes the data in a form of a stream. BufferedInputStream is a class which reads the input stream in terms of bytes and stores into a buffer. And BufferedOutputStream is the data which is sent as output in a form of a stream of bytes which is stored into a buffer. The main difference between these two is buffer has some CPU capacity and CPU preservance, And coming to character streams, the flow of data will be in the characters type, and the data which we flow will be of characters, and by using the words reader and writer, we can say that the classes will ends up with reader and writer. FileReader will read the data from a file. FileWriter will write the data into the file. Of course, same BufferedReader, BufferedWriter. BufferedReader will read the data and store into a buffer. BufferedWriter will write the data into a buffer and finally print the buffer into the file. These are the different categories in which the file streams are classified into. Depending upon the flow of data, they are classified into byte streams and character streams. These are called character streams. And straight away, we'll take an example to understand the concept of each thing. So, notepad, I say BS, that is byte streams example I take here. So, package is import java.io.star and class BS, and straight away take public static void main. So, in this, it's always good habit to use a try-catch block for every program you write for IO package. The try-catch block contains, we all know try is a block which tries the logic, catch is a location where the exceptions can be caught. So, in catch block you can take few exceptions. One is file not found exception, if the file is not found. So, another one is IOException. And you simply print here saying that fe dot print stack trace to print any kind of errors that comes with the file not found. In the same way, IOE dot print stack trace. You just, in order to understand the print stack trace, you just watch my exceptions video. So these are two exceptions that may arise when we work on IO package. So this concept is mostly all about byte streams, means how to read and write the bytes of data. So to use that, we should need to go with the concept called as FileInputStream space FIS object equals to new FileInputStream of where do you want to read from. So example, I just want to read a file. Say I have a file here in my folder where it contains CSC and EC files. In CSC you have something called Kartik Chandra Patnaik. I just try to read that file now. So streams, okay. Now the file name is in D drive. I have something like csc.txt. This is the way how to view the path of the file location. With what I am using now, FileInputStream. The FileInputStream is a class which reads the input stream from a path called csc.txt. So how to read this directly? And we just need to read that. To read that, the data which we read from that will be of bytes. So get each byte of data by a loop and print each data. To read each byte of data from that file, we should need to use a method called as read method. Okay, we'll see now. So take int from x equal to 0, or initially x is enough, and here take a while loop. So while store each byte into x. So x equals to fs dot read. So fs dot read means it will read on byte and store into x. That x should not be equal to -1. -1 is the value which determines that the file has no data. Okay, once it is done, you just try to print here system dot out dot print line, say x. Means I am reading each byte from that file and printing that byte. Once the operation is done, simply say fis dot close. The file operation should be closed. This is called file opened for reading, and this is an operation for file reading in a loop till -1. -1 specifies that file doesn't have any byte. After reading of complete bytes, the -1 occurs when that file doesn't have any more bytes. Now run the program. So javac space bs.java and java space bs. See, we got all the bytes here. So we just now read the bytes, and we have print that bytes in my console. In other way, we can even read the bytes from one file and write the bytes into another file. I can do this by saying that I had to use another one called FileOutputStream space FOS equals to new FileOutputStream of specify a location of file where you want to store this particular file data. So I say d : say some kind of file name. The file name, say example, some kind of data, say example EE.txt. Into this file name, I want to store this bytes. Now, using this x equals to fis.read, I am reading each byte and storing into x, and I want write now. To write, what I had to say here. So fos dot write of say x. The x is being read by FIS. FIS is an object of FileInputStream, and to write that file into this location, say EE.txt, I should need to say what? fos.write. When I say fos.write, then this particular each byte will be write into this location called EE.text. And once the job is done, you also need to close fos.close. Okay. Once your job is done, you just try to print some message to say that your data has been written. So sysout data written, and you just compile here and run here and say data written. Where the data is written? The data is written into EE.txt. The main intention is FileOutputStream. It will automatically create a file called EE.txt. We doesn't require to create a file. See, now EE.txt is created. In that, see, Karthik Chandra Patnaik is written. If you observe properly, we have read each byte, and we have write that using what? FileOutputStream. If you observe properly, FileOutputStream has written the data in terms of characters. That's the output in EEE is what? Again, the name, not we got earlier in the console. In console, we are getting bytes. But when we write the data, it is writing in form of what? Characters. That is the advantage of Byte Streams. So, simple example to understand FileInputStream and FileOutputStream. Likewise, we can even create another example to understand character streams. So, what is character streams? So, notepad space character streams dot java. One second. So now we look into character streams. So import the package. Import java.io.start. So class CS public static void main string args. I already said you in the earlier program, always try to create a try catch block to create the exceptions. Okay, in this example, we just try to work on, instead of try catch block, we use something called throws keyword. So say throws, I can say what? File not found exception, comma, IOException. This is another way of throwing exceptions in Java, that is file not found exception, IOException. throws keyword will throws any number of exceptions by a comma separator, and those should be thrown at a method. Now our example is all about character streams which read and write characters. So straight away say FileReader space object equals to new FileReader of read a file from location D drive, say csc.txt. If you want, you can even check the methods what the FileReader contains. Say you can say javap space java.io.FileReader. Please look into this. FileReader has only constructors. The FileReader has a parent class called InputStream So if you take InputStream reader, you could find the different methods of reading a file. So we have a method called read method. Read is a method which reads each data and returns an integer. Okay, you can even cache with char. So how to do this? Same. So again say int x, take a while loop here. So while x equals to fr dot read not equals to say -1, and print here saying that system dot out dot print ln. While you print, you just simply say casting. What you cast? Char of x. The meaning of that is x is of integer type, and I am doing a cast of char to convert that value of x into characters. And finally, what I say? fr dot close. Done. And you just try to run the program. So java c space cs.java java space cs. See, all characters are printed. Karthik Chandra Patnaik. In the same manner, we can even use FileWriter. Say FileWriter space FileWriter is a class which is used to write the data into a file. Reader is a class which reads the data from an file. Now my objective is to read data from one file and write data into another file. So new, it's a frequently asked questions in interview as well as in academics. Say d : /, I just want to say another file called mech.txt. I just want to read the data from the CSV file and paste into mechanical file. Instead of this, I just try to say fw dot write of say x, and say here fw dot close. Okay, once try to compile and check how it look like. Okay, java space cs. Now file is written. Now go to that directory in mechanical. You can find this as Karthik Chandra Patnaik. Means we have used something called character streams. Now character streams will read the characters. So that's why we have done that characters here. So FileReader and FileWriter. Sometimes if you want to read the complete line of file, say instead of reading say each character, sometimes you want to read complete line. At that time you can use something like BufferedReader. BufferedReader has that option of reading the complete data into one buffer and make it as an one line. Like how we do this is simply add here another class BufferedReader space object equals to new BufferedReader of, say pass that FileReader object here. In the same manner, I can even say BufferedWriter space bw equals to new BufferedWriter of fw. Done. Now straight away I can say like this. I can say I want to read from BufferedReader, say br dot read line. see I have read complete line, store this into a string. One shot complete line is read. Like Python we see something called read line. The same manner I can say bw dot write of that line. Done. So using BufferedReader I have read the complete line, and using BufferedWriter I have wrote complete line. But thing is, I should need to pass this FileReader object into BufferedReader and FileWriter object into what? BufferedWriter, to give the location of the files. Once done, we just need to close the files, like we say bw dot close, and the one is br dot close, maybe fw. It should go in order. Say I use bw, I need to close br, close. Done. Of course, the same kind of output we can even see this. Okay, done. This is something like character streams, file streams, that is byte streams and character streams. Byte streams are the streams of data which reads the data in terms of bytes, and character streams are the streams in which the data will be in terms of characters. Hope you enjoyed the video. The next video we'll try to look into the concept of a random access file. Thank you. Bye bye.